Happy Monday morning, everybody. It's almost 6 a.m., July 13th. My name is Amal. I'm going to go through Bitcoin analysis. I'm also going to go through some cryptos that we were trading last couple days, last couple weeks. And we're going to show you guys some successful trades that we had and also some things that we're looking out for the week ahead. So by the end of this video, you'll have a good idea of where my Bitcoin thoughts are in terms of my Bitcoin analysis. I'll also show you guys a long-term buy signal that popped up on Bitcoin. I want to discuss that a little bit more. And I also want to talk about some of the top crypto altcoins that we need to be looking out for the week ahead. Okay, so let's get to it. So on this Cointelegraph article, some of the coins that they kind of mentioned for the week ahead is things like BTC, Link, Atom, XLM, BNB. So I want to clear this up is I don't think there's a whole lot to look out for in terms of Link. Like if we're looking at Link over here, okay, it is so far overextended that you're basically, taking a pretty massive risk by effectively buying where it is right now, right? Because it's basically gone parabolic. Yeah, it could go higher, or you could also be buying the top. But there are other cryptos, other altcoins that have actually not moved up this aggressively. And I think those are the ones that we need to be looking at, okay? But I think in terms of Link, all right, this was kind of an area that I was watching out for, the 2.0 extension. I think on my Coinbase chart, it actually hit pretty perfectly, okay? Because I think for Coinbase, the low for Coinbase was right around 1.50 in September. Binance goes back, I think even several months. So the extension, of course, is a little bit higher on Binance. But nonetheless, point is, if you went from, let's just say, this key high to this key low and you did an extension fib, you should be getting some of these fibs right here, like 1.618 and this 2.0, generally around the same area. And these fibs are important because it helps you identify a target, right? You know that feeling when you enter a trade and you hope it goes up, but you don't really take profit. Well, that's because you don't have any targets set, because you don't understand that fibs can also be used with extensions. And so the extensions are just as important as retracements, like on the way back down. So just how you would place buy orders on the retracement levels, you should be placing sell orders on the extension levels like the 1.618 or the 2.0. And you would have pretty much gotten out at, close to the top, at least right here, and especially right here, which is a good take profit area, okay? So this is kind of how you identify some target levels. Now, there's been a lot of talk about Lend as well, right? So for example, Lend has shot up quite amazingly. I think the crazy thing about these coins is, it's now taken almost, 2.5 years to get them to their previous levels. But even where they are right now, just remember that when Bitcoin was up here, it was still at $17,000 or $20,000. So that means in terms of Satoshi prices, or I'm sorry, Bitcoin prices, we're still at half the price where we are right now, the 20,000 high. So even if you were a Lend buyer somewhere up here, anywhere close to the top, you're probably still down, in terms of US dollar, at least 40, maybe 50%, which is a pretty insane amount. But the thing is, if you were trading, right, for example, in our community, if you're trading with us from level to level, okay, there's some amazing trades that our community has been getting in and out of. For example, Matic is one that, most of them were trading. Matic is one that I mentioned about a week and a half ago. Some people have been trading BNB or Link, Tezos. Link, I think our community just killed. I mean, these guys were just absolutely shredding it. LTC is another one we're watching. Make or Die, that's another one that I mentioned. Ethereum, some coins that you need to watch out for. Haven Protocol, Poly, all these different coins, in our advantage side of the community, the Trader Talk Alts channel, these are things that we've been talking about. Now, I haven't been trading alts actively, but I think our community has, and man, they have done a fantastic job, So here's some coins that I've mentioned over the past several weeks that our community has found to be very lucrative. For example, I mentioned IOTA right here. When we actually broke above this area, held this as support, okay? And I told our members that from here, you could probably expect a good push to the upside towards this high level, 2,800 sats. So that was almost like a 28–30% gain. If we break above this area, right, you could still expect a move to the upside from here, which is another 25–30% gain, which is around 3,500 sats. See, here's the thing, right? When Lend, when Link have broken up so aggressively, you need to look out for structural trades like this, where coins have not gone parabolic. So IOTA is especially, in my opinion, a great trade that you can look out for. Not where it is right now, but you gotta break above this level. Breaking above this level is key, because once you break above and hold it, you've effectively, okay, you effectively held this previous area of consolidation as resistance and resistance, and you can hold this area as support right here. If you can do that, then you have another 25–30% move in you, okay? Let me see. Poly, I know was another one that I had mentioned. Let's see where Poly is. So I mentioned Poly somewhere around this area, I think. Where's this? End of May, somewhere around June or something. And I think I stated that, these are some of the levels that we needed to watch, especially this one right here. So you can see this was a previous consolidation box. I stated if we can break above this area and hold, we should be pushing towards this box. And you can see that's exactly what happened. You don't need to worry about these spikes, and you don't need to worry about catching the top. If you had just laid down some orders between this area and this high, the box, you would have made anywhere between 45% and 60%, as you can see. Okay, so this is how you need to trade these altcoins from level to level. I think what people most often get caught up in is the idea that they need to hold on to these altcoins because somewhere down the line, or whenever, they're going to be something great, and you're going to make 5x or 10x on it. I think you need to forget about those days, guys. I think the biggest trap that the altcoins have over people is that they keep reminding you of the 2017 days. Those days may not happen, but you can compound 30–40% over and over, and you can easily make that money even by the time the 5 or 10x days happen, if they happen at all. Okay, compounding your gains is by far the most important thing you need to pay attention to. That is how the best traders and investors make money. Forget this garbage about so-and-so altcoin is going to change the world, right? You don't know that. We don't even know how the world is going to be tomorrow, let alone a year or 2 years or 5 years from now. Okay, and if that's the case, right, let's just say you believe in some altcoin and you believe that it's going to be the end all be all, then buy it and just forget about it for 3 or 5 years, right? Why worry about it fluctuating, a couple percent here and there, a couple dollars here and there? Okay, so this is the kind of mindset that you need to approach these altcoins with, is you need to treat them just as assets that you need to trade on and off, level to level. That's it. Get in, get out. Okay. But if you keep, thinking that, hey, this is like the 2017 days and everything is going to keep pumping and I'm going to make all this money, 3x, 5x, 10x, whatever, you're going to get trapped. You're going to get trapped holding the bag. Okay. Because I'll tell you something about Bitcoin, which I think is really interesting, but let me cover Maker as well. So over here, Maker, somewhere around June right here, this was around the time, I think it was maybe June 5th. I forget exactly when it was, but somewhere around this area was when, I also let our community know this is a potential, good trade. This is your Maker dollar trade. All right. And after this bullish engulfing pump, all you have to do is place your stop right under here, take profit 618, this area right here, or 620. And then the second take profit is up here. Right, so you would have made from here, if you say got in even after this bullish engulfing candle, right? If you got in right there and you took a trade right there, that's a 32% trade. 32%. I mean, that's a pretty darn good, percentage trade. That's a lot of money, guys. I'll tell you, someone who's been doing this for a while, like crypto is the one place where you can make gains like this on a daily basis. If you just actually pay attention to what's going on in the market, stop thinking of it as, a 2-year, 5-year trade that, you have to hold the bag and you have to think that we're going to make all-time highs. And then eventually what happens is most people sell the bottom anyway, right? So why be those people? Why not make your money, compound your gains, and move on to the next coin that shows you a promising technical structure, okay? Now, when it comes to Bitcoin, here are some interesting things that have come into development, okay? So on the hash ribbons, remember, this is a signal that goes back to 2015, 2016. I don't personally know how accurate it can be given the current day of, post-COVID era, given the fact that we're also in a recessionary environment. We're also coming out of 3 years of lower highs, crazy volatile movement. I don't know how you can measure the accuracy of the hash ribbons as the same kind of accuracy that it had before. However, I'm not here to question that, okay? I do, however, tell people that do not go off their hash ribbons alone, okay? Because it's not a buy signal as in like you buy now and the price has to go up. It's very possible that the price could retrace another 10, 15, 20%, and then it can head up, okay? So don't think that it's as simple as buy now and then tomorrow, you're golden, all right? Not the case at all. So point is, this is a hash ribbon signal that has gone back to 2015, 2016 days. And so far, it's pretty accurate, right? And so I have no reason to question the accuracy for now, other than my own technicals of how I've been looking at the structure. However, what's kind of important about that is, we're kind of at a particular level in price action and price structure where I can't quite say that we're ready to just start breaking down, right away. It's been very hard to chop around this area and break down the price action here, okay? And so with that being said, I wouldn't say I've become more bullish. I would say rather that, my bearish thoughts are a bit more tamed, right? I know people have been going around and talking about 12K and 14K all this time, but in reality, there's really no reason to discuss that when we were kind of headed down with these lower highs. And there technically still isn't. Unless you clear out this high, like 94.50, or at least this one around 9700s, well, you don't really have a reason to be just aggressively bullish, right? So I think that's my concern right now, is that I think, there's just too much hopium in the market. I think there's going to be a lot of, bulls that are going to get flushed out. Okay. And so I still think that, the downside targets are very possible, but, given the hash signal, given the fact that the price action is finding it very difficult to break this 9200s level, which again, on a daily standpoint, over here even, it's been a level that goes back to 2019. So if you can't break below this level, well, that means you're probably a little bit more bullish. That means you might push up a little bit higher before you roll over, okay? So it's not necessary that you have to effectively, break down from where we are exactly. So it's possible that we push up a little bit higher. Maybe put in, another lower high where we do something like this, maybe somewhere up here, and then we start rolling over. Okay, so that's kind of how I'm looking at price action, price structure. It's really not the fact that, I want to be bearish and I hate Bitcoin. It's really that on a day-to-day basis, you have to revise your statements of how you're looking at price action, okay? If you're not someone who looks at the market often and you don't see the structures change, these are important things that one needs to pay attention to. They're critically important because there's so many different things happening in the market. And if you don't pay attention, right, and if you don't keep yourself updated, you're going to get trapped on one side of the trade versus, hoping and just praying that the other side bails you out. So this is why you kind of have to be malleable and adapt to the price action, okay? So my thoughts are right now that I think it's a very positive sign that Bitcoin has again held above this 92.25 level. Same thing on the Bitfinex chart. It's doing its best to stay above this 92.72 area. However, what I kind of find strange about that is, we're still under the pivot. Okay, we're still under the pivot, and we haven't really done anything special, in terms of being under the pivot. It's not like we're challenging the pivot over and over again, or we've gotten a strong daily close above the pivot. So it makes me a little bit suspect that, well, yeah, I mean, we're floating here sideways, but we haven't actually broken above any significant key support or resistance level, right? So it's possible that we float sideways here for a little while. It's also possible that, maybe from here we start breaking down, which is probably the more likely scenario, given the fact that we're under the pivot. Again, just looking at basic price action and structure, it's, to me, a bit more evident that we're actually, ready to start breaking down versus start breaking up. But I do think that, we need to take this with a grain of salt, given the fact that we did break above this key 9200s level. We did get that hash ribbon signal. Okay, so I just wanted to tell you all that. And then on top of that, you guys know that I trade the stock market. We trade the stock market heavily in the Advantage community, right? So this is our equities channel. We put out daily trades that we're taking in the stock market. Options trades. We actually took a couple options trades last week. So here were, a couple options trades. The plus 81, the SPY ETF call option, we actually made some really great money on that. It was almost as high as 115% at one point. So I've taken a lot of profit, and I cut that trade almost at like a 95% profit right there, as you can see. I spelled profit wrong. But beyond, I had to cut at a loss because I think the market tanked maybe late Thursday, early Friday. And so I cut Beyond, which is a vegan burger company. But I'm pretty happy, with overall my losses from Beyond were easily covered by my profits from my SPY option, right? So the point is, the SPY trade is basically this ES, future trade. For example, ES is a futures contract of the S&P 500, and the S&P 500 has its ETF, which is the SPY, right? Which I just showed you guys. And so when we're looking at the futures contract right here, futures kind of want to, keep inching up higher. It looks like they're kind of in a breakout mode. And so if they keep pushing up higher, well, I mean, it's possible that, Bitcoin also reacts to it. Because I think the one thing that's been abundantly clear is Bitcoin has been acting very much in line and correlated to the S&P 500. So the argument again is, well, if the ES pushes up, it's also possible that Bitcoin keeps inching up, right? So I think those are my thoughts when looking at Bitcoin. I can definitely see ES pushing up higher. And in that case, I could see Bitcoin pushing up higher as well. All right. I think other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. You guys know some of the altcoins that I've been looking at. Here's another thing about Doge, which I found interesting, which is, I think everybody was talking about Doge, but that pump ended real quick. I had also warned you guys that, I think it was in one of the videos that I did last Wednesday, that if you wait for Doge around maybe, what is it, like 38 or 39 sats, I think price was way the heck up here, it's possible that you might get a better buy. But you can see Doge, man, there's a lot of people trapped at the top. They're probably trying to get out, and yeah, they're going to bleed out in losses. Because if you bought anywhere close to the top, let's just say you bought, even right here, well, you're already down 30%, right? So that kind of sucks. I would not be surprised if Doge pushes lower. I don't know if it's going to dump all that much, because it is a coin that, still a lot of algos trade, still a lot of, traders do trade. There's a decent amount of liquidity in Doge I've seen. So I'd probably figure Doge pushes higher. Okay. But I don't know if it's going to be anytime soon. It might go down first for like another couple of weeks. But I probably figure it at least gets back towards 42, maybe 47 or something. But again, we don't know if it's going to go lower and then higher. But there's a lot better trades out there, guys. That's the point. Okay, look for the trades that are already giving you great buying opportunities right now, right? Like the polys that I sent you, Maker, Lend is a bit extended. Let me see. I think there's another one, XHV, which I had given out to my community a little while back. Let me see here. So, okay, I think I wrote this one out maybe somewhere around here when we broke up into this area. So pretty much end of June. So you didn't get to buy it right here, but it was like on this breakout. So, even from here, let's just say you bought from here on this bullish engulfing, or not bullish engulfing, but a breakout candle from here to this target, which was, I think, one of the targets that I'd drawn, that's a 30%, right? So you could see, I'd even mention if it breaks above this area and it holds, it'll hit this 22K area. You can see it hit that perfectly, even extended that way the heck up here. But all you had to worry about was the next target. You could have had, say another part of your bag, like say you cut 50% here, the other 50% you could have cut, 10% higher, 15% higher, right? So this is how you need to trade altcoins. Is you need to first of all understand where your targets are. Also, do not just cut all at once if you think they're going to go higher, right? You can cut 25% at one level, see if it pushes higher, cut another 10%, see if it pushes higher, cut another 10%, and so on and so forth. Okay, that's how you not only manage your risk, but you maximize your gains. But other than that, guys, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. Again, hit the thumbs up if you enjoy our content. If you like our analysis, if you like our content, share this video, leave me a comment of your thoughts, and also just come join the Discord channel, right? It's free. The link is below. Come hang out with us and come trade with us. Okay. Y'all take care. Have a good rest of your Monday. Cheers, and we'll see you soon.